Thunder rolls in the distance, wind stirs the treetops, rain hits the leaves in sheets, lightning cracks through the canopy, and somewhere, a tree splits open like the land itself just gave out. The fire's out, your water's gone. Something moved in the trees an hour ago, and you haven't seen it since. There's no trail, no map, and nobody's coming to find you. These mountains are dangerous, not tall like the Rockies, but older, wilder, harder to read. This is the Appalachian backcountry, the kind of place where people vanish without a sound. If you don't know how to survive, you won't. And there's one rule out here no one breaks and lives to tell about. Levi Wolf didn't just learn it, he nearly died breaking it. And what he wrote down after might be the only reason you make it out. Levi Wolf walked into these mountains over 100 years ago and never came back. No grave, no trail, just a journal in the hollow of a tree, containing 6 stained pages with 7 rules for surviving the Appalachian wilderness. And what's inside wasn't fiction. It's what you write when the fire's dying, the wolves are circling, and you've still got a little breath left. Rule 1. Fire before everything. If you stop moving, make fire. If it's raining, make fire. If you're bleeding, make fire. Fire comes first. Always. I've seen men spend their last bit of strength chasing food when they should have been chasing warmth. You don't eat if you freeze to death. In these mountains, the damp gets into everything, your boots, your powder, your bones. Once you're wet and still, the cold settles in and doesn't let go. Fire's the only thing that buys you time. This is the rainiest place in the country outside the Pacific Northwest. Fires die fast. Nothing dries easy. Don't wait until it's dark. Don't wait until you're shaking. Start the fire before you need it. Keep your tinder dry, your flint sharp, and your steel handy. Mine stayed in a buckskin pouch under my shirt. If you have char cloth, use it. If not, dry moss or shaved bark works if you've got patience. Build it low and tight. Get it hot, fast. Protect it like it's the only thing keeping you alive, because it is. You lose your fire in these mountains, and you're not just cold. You're alone, soaked to the bone, and racing the one thing you can't beat out here: time. They say every rule in Levi Wolf's journal mattered, but only one nearly killed him. This one. He didn't write it down because it sounded good. He wrote it because the night he broke it was the night he almost didn't make it. Rule 2. Know where you are before you move. Getting lost don't happen all at once. It happens slow. One bad turn. One hill you didn't mean to cross. Then it's all bramble and silence. Most folks die because they kept walking after they were already lost. Pride kills quicker than cold. Before you move, know where you are. Stop. Look. Listen. The land always tells you something. In the hollers, sound bounces wrong. You think you're heading north, but the wind's coming through a saddle behind you. Up high, the ridgelines twist, and that sun you trusted can disappear behind a storm before you've gone a quarter mile. Even Daniel Boone called parts of these slopes so wild and horrid it was impossible to behold them without terror. I carried a brass compass, lost it in the creek once, had to use the sun. Stick a branch straight in the ground, mark the shadow. Wait an hour, mark it again. Draw a line between the 2 points. That's east to west. Stand with your back to the sun. The land will tell you the rest. Out here you learn to track with your eyes. Moss on the north side of trees. The shape of creek bends, where the fog settles in the morning. And when you do get turned around, stop walking. Build fire. Wait for your head to clear. Let the land settle. You only get one chance to walk out the right way. And if you guess wrong, these hills won't argue. They'll just take you. Rule 3. Stop the bleeding fast. A small wound's not small when you're 3 days from help. Out here, bleeding doesn't ask permission. You fall wrong, break skin on a rock, catch a thorn too deep, next thing you know, your socks soak through and the flies are already on you. You don't have time to flinch. You stop the bleeding. Fast. And here's where the rules hit hardest. This isn't theory. These aren't tips. Break one rule, just one, and out here, you're gone. I kept a strip of buckskin, pine pitch, and a twist of moss in my possibles bag. Not pretty, but it works. Pack the wound. Wrap it tight. Use pressure. Use dirt if you have to. A little infection's better than bleeding out. I once watched a man slice his shin open on a broken branch, kept walking. Said he'd clean it at camp, never made it to camp. Doesn't take much to bleed to death out here. Especially when your blood's thinning from cold and hunger. You tear something deep, your job ain't to panic. Your job's to stop it, seal it, and keep moving slowly if you have to. But moving. Pain don't matter. Blood does. Keep it inside you. Rule 4. Eat what knows the land. If it don't belong here, don't eat it. If it moves like it lives here, follow it. Hunger will trick you. It'll make bark look like bread and mushrooms smell sweet. You get sloppy. You get dead. I've watched grown men starve next to food they couldn't recognize. Ramps, wild leeks grow in patches up near the shade line. Cattail roots, if boiled long enough, will fill your gut, slow but steady. Acorns need soaking. Raw, they'll tear your stomach up. Wild blackberries or strawberries are safe to eat if you find them. Sweet, but don't count on many. Follow the animals. Squirrels don't waste time where food is scarce. Birds lead you to water, deer lead you to shelter. Down in the creeks, I'd flip stones for crawdads. Pinch the tail, twist the head, boil 'em if you've got a tin. Raw if you don't. Smoked fish, if you had time to trap and dry it. Jerky, if you were smart enough to bring it. And when you find food, don't gorge. The gut slows down when it's cold and scared. Feed it slow or you'll throw it all up and start over weaker than before. You don't eat to feel full. You eat to keep moving. Rule 5. Sleep when you can, not when you're tired. The woods don't care if you're tired, but they'll take advantage if you're slow. You wait until you're exhausted to stop moving, you've already made a mistake. I learned that the hard way, near Big South Fork. I'd gone 30 hours on a bad foot looking for a clean crossing. Figured I'd rest once I got to the other side. Never made it. Slipped on the bank, tore a tendon, spent the next 2 days crawling upstream until I found dry ground. Sleep when the land gives you the chance. Not when you feel like it. If it's dry, sheltered, and quiet, you stop. Even for an hour. Even for 20 minutes. You close your eyes and take what's there. Keep your back against something solid. Keep your fire tight and your tools in reach. And never lie flat unless you know the ground is dry. I've slept standing up against a pine tree with one boot off and the other half frozen, but I woke up. That's what mattered. Out here, sleep isn't comfort. It's maintenance, like patching a boot or cleaning a rifle. Miss your window and you might not get another. Rule 6, move quiet or don't move at all. Out here, if something hears you before you hear it, you're already in trouble. Every sound carries. A snapped branch, the hiss of a fire, even the way your pack shifts on your back. It all echoes different when you're alone. The biggest mistake green men make is thinking they're alone just because they don't see anyone. That's not how it works in these hills. I've heard footsteps that never showed a body. I've heard coughing where no smoke rose. You don't ignore things like that, but you don't chase them either. When the woods go still, you go still. When the birds stop, you listen. When the wind shifts, you wait. Your voice ain't useful out here. It just tells whatever's listening where you are. Move slow. Move smart. Wrap your tools so they don't clank. If something starts following, don't run. Cut sideways, drop low, and vanish. If you can't move without making noise, Build fire, get small, and stay put. Better to be still and ready than moving and caught. Rule 7. Mark the way back. You get turned around in these hills, the trail disappears behind you like it was never there. That's how it works out here. The land don't care where you came from. And if no one knows where you went, you're just gone. These mountains have swallowed towns, trails, and people. Marking your path isn't just wise. It's a matter of survival. So you take the time to mark it. You stack 3 stones by the creek crossing, notch a tree that faces the sun, and tie a scrap of cloth where the ridge splits. Something simple, something clear. If nothing else, leave a piece of yourself behind. One man makes it out. He can bring back help, or a body. You might not leave with everything you came with, but if you leave a mark, you weren't just passing through. That's what survival is. Not staying alive forever, just long enough to matter. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible stories. Until next time, happy hunting.